talented people. So we go to the next slide. This is the history of Luxembourg. The industrialization started with the steel industry, built on mining, which had been there for a long time. And innovation sort of started in the country with the steel industry. And innovation has always been strong in Luxembourg. Research has always been strong. So we had research institutes before we had the University of Luxembourg. And they worked hand in hand with the companies producing steel, and there were new industries developed. We had in the 1970s and 80s big leaps for the financial sector. So as you know, Luxembourg is very known as a financial hub in Europe today. And also the EU institutions. So in the 70s, 80s, we had a lot of EU institutions coming in together with the finance sector. Then we are trying to grow into a knowledge economy with the establishment of the university, with the research institutes. And now we want to be a digitalized and sustainable country. So this is why the agency I'm working for has the mandate to try to grow the ecosystem in that way. So we are looking for tech companies, a high level of tech that can also bring their visions of digitalization and sustainability to the country. We are a very stable open economy. We were just yesterday ranked again, we were AAA rated by one of the biggest rating institutions. And so it's a stable, safe place to grow a company from. And this is very important for us. Of course, we have a strong GDP growth. This has sort of slowed down a little bit with the inflation, of course, but we have been pretty resilient in terms of the inflation, being on the second place in Europe for that. These are the research institutes in Luxembourg that are maybe most relevant here at this tech university. So the one that I really want to point out is SNT over here. So SNT is a part of the University of Luxembourg, and this is where the lion part of all the space research is being done in Luxembourg. SNT has from the beginning worked very closely with SES, the satellite company that has been mentioned here a few times already. So SES was a startup in Luxembourg 20 years ago, and they are now one of the biggest companies in the world in terms of satellites. And they worked all the time together with SNT. So at SNT, we have a very cool lunar lab, for example. We have an interdisciplinary Space Master, and in that Space Master, you study business management, you study informatics, you study engineering, and you study informatics. So, and the Space Master works very closely together with the companies involved in space in Luxembourg. We have also other research institutes, like the LIST is also very much involved in this field. We have the LIH, which is the Luxembourg Institute of Health, etc. So strong research institutes. This is our university. We have about 6,000 students at the university. Half of those are international. So it's a very small but very international university, and very sort of with a family feeling. Everybody who works at the university knows the students well, etc. So it's a nice place. It is located in Belval, where Lux Innovation is also located. It's a new part of the country where we try to work to create a campus with companies, with the university, research institutes, different agencies, etc. So it's really like an urban campus where people also live. The students live there, but also people working in the companies and the university. So this is again a little bit on where we are. We are very connected, so you can see you can go to Paris in 2 hours and 5 minutes with the TGV, and we are very close to other cities, of course, like Frankfurt and Brussels, Amsterdam, etc. in this region. So we have a lot of multinational companies in Luxembourg. We have worked hard to create a nice setting for companies where they can develop from to reach markets in Europe. So we have, for example, the headquarter of Amazon, but it's not the only one. There is really a lot of European headquarters of companies in Luxembourg. We are quite high in terms of innovation. So we are in innovation ranked number 5 in Europe. After in the EU, I would say after the Nordic countries, we are number 5. So these are some more figures. We don't really need to look at that, but we have some world-class infrastructures in Luxembourg that can be of interest for you. So we have the supercomputer, for example, that we call Meluxina. It's an HPC computer, the strongest one in our region. Where we are. So this supercomputer just opened last year, and it's also open to universities from all around the world. It's open to companies, etc. You can also access it from Romania, for example. So no need to go to Luxembourg, but the supercomputer is there, and we hope that it will help foster research and the growth of companies. These are some sector areas that we are focusing on. So it's AI, it's HPC, big data, as I said, and it's also blockchain, cyber, etc. So when we do this, it's not just something that we say, but the government and the university and the companies work together to do this. So we call it a triple helix model, where all these 3 parts of the society go together and work very hard to produce a climate where it's nice to come to study and also to start a company. We are planning for an automobility innovation campus, automotive, smart mobility, smart applications, etc. is also something that we really focus on in Luxembourg. And we are a logistics and supply chain hub, so we have a big, actually, cargo airport. It's very close to the city center, and the cargo is developing there very much. The airport is an important part of our logistics chain, but there are also very, very many other parts of the logistics hub important. We support companies with different schemes. So you can see the schemes here. We have, for example, the Digital Tech Fund. We have the Future Fund. There are loans that you can get if you start a company. And this is a picture of the startup ecosystem in Luxembourg. So you can see the sectors that are involved. I've already, of course, mentioned the space sector, but we have a lot of other startups too. Clean tech startups, creative industries, big data, and Industry 4.0, health tech is very important. FinTech is a big area for us. So having been supported by the government, especially since the last 10 to 15 years, we have managed to produce 500 active startups in Luxembourg. So this is something new to our ecosystem, but we are very proud to have all these startups in the system. Many of the people behind are students from the university, but some are also international people coming in to create startups with us. So we have about 10 to 15 incubators in Luxembourg. Some of them are private, some of them are public, but incubators play a very, very important role as well in our ecosystem. We have a program that we call Fit for Start. So Fit for Start has become a flagship program for Luxembourg, where companies, startups can apply to be admitted in this program. We used to launch it twice per year, but we will launch it from now on only once per year. And the next time that you can apply will be in the summer of 2024. So if you're interested in that, please have a look at the homepage of Lux Innovation. But it's become a super flagship, as I said, for Luxembourg. So we receive many hundreds of applications every time. And we select, of course, the most promising with a jury, independent jury. And then you receive coaching as a startup for 6 months. And you will also have a free place in one of our incubators. So coaching, incubator, you receive grants from the government, and we will introduce your company to VCs in Luxembourg and abroad. So there are many benefits with the Fit for Start program, and it has benefited Luxembourg as well a lot. This is living in Luxembourg. We have a new feature which is cool, that is that we have free public transport. So you can travel everywhere in the country on train, on buses, on the tram without paying anything. And we try to keep the country. The country is very beautiful. I don't know if you've been, but it's valley, it's mountains, it's castles, it's a lot of greenery, and we try to keep the country very green so that it is nice to live there. So, as I said, Lux Innovation empower companies. This is what we do. We try to strengthen them. And this is a little bit, again, about Lux Innovation. So we have a startup team. We have an international business development team. We have many teams, clusters, that work together to foster innovation and growth in Luxembourg. So thank you very much for having listened to me. And I will be here in the coffee break also if you want to contact me or if you have any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jenny. And now let's have a question from the audience. Okay, we have a microphone. Just 1 second, please. There. Talking about technology is very good. Okay.
What is the added value to private companies of an innovation agency?
Thank you very much. So, yeah, so as I said, we try to help the companies. Not all companies come to us, of course, but the companies who are engaged in one of our clusters. So all of our work is for free. So if you are a new company in Luxembourg or if you're an old company in Luxembourg, it doesn't matter. Your founders can come from abroad also, but we try to do everything that we can to put the company in touch with clients, not only in Luxembourg, but also abroad. And we have, for example, 2 funding teams. So there is funding that you can get for R&D in Luxembourg. So our funding team, we have an international one. They help with EU funding, for example. So they help the companies to write the applications for EU funding and other international sources. And we also have a national funding team. They can help with the applications to our Ministry of Economy. So there are many things that we can do. The clusters are very active, putting the companies in touch with their future partners, with peers, taking them out on events outside Luxembourg, and they also create events inside the country, all to foster networking and that everybody is connected. And in a small country, this is quite easily done. You know, we all know each other, and this is one of the benefits with being small, right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jenny. Due to time issues, let's go on and we will continue in the short break that we'll have after the first panel. So we'll go on with industry and I will give the floor to Ms. Anca Stan from Demospace, Romania. Anca, you have the floor.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, fellow panelists. Good morning, dear students. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank Mr. Daniel 𝐁𝐞𝐲𝐽, Mr. Chairman, for inviting us here today. I shall start by introducing myself. I'm Anca Maria Stan. I'm here on behalf of my company, Demospace Romania. So I believe we represent at this table the industry. And I think I can have a double role here today as I'm a former student in the University of Politehnica from Bucharest, and I didn't graduate myself that long ago. We prepared a few slides introducing the company and our view on the transition between academia and the industry. First of all, let's answer two important questions. Who are we and what do we do? We are Demospace Romania. We are a technology company providing software and hardware solution for the aerospace industry. We are based in Bucharest. We were founded in 2013. Actually, we just celebrated our 10 years anniversary. And it is worth mentioning that we are part of a bigger group. We are part of the Demos group, which is headquartered in Madrid, in Tres Cantos. And we also have colleagues working in the UK, in Portugal, in Italy, and so on. I think it's worth mentioning that we work very closely together. Myself, for example, I communicate with my other colleagues from the other sites mainly on a daily basis, and there is this continuous transfer knowledge between us and also brainstorming on different projects. Going a bit more in detail about what we exactly do, I mentioned that we do also software and hardware, but I think it's worth mentioning that we are more focused on the software side. However, we don't limit ourselves. We are interested in hardware opportunities as well, and we actually have already some colleagues that are working with hardware. A bit on our departments and how we are organized. So we do atmospheric flight work. We develop onboard software, so the software that it is flown onto the spacecraft. We do development for the guidance, navigation, and control algorithm. We do mission analysis. We do space surveillance, awareness, and so on. Who are our main clients and partners? So our main client is ESA, the European Space Agency, and subsequently ROSA, the Romanian Space Agency, but we've also been involved in projects with the European Commission, for example. And I've also listed on the slides some of the companies with whom we work pretty close in consortium and during projects. I would also like to take this opportunity to mention the collaboration that we have with the University of Politehnica from Bucharest. We cherish a lot this collaboration. We have a very good communication on one hand with the Faculty of Aerospace Engineering, but on the other hand also with the Faculty of Automating Control and Computer Science. And I think this is important to mention because as you've already may seen, that we are doing software for aerospace. It means that we are looking sometimes for people that have a mixed background, so they also need aerospace knowledge, but they also need programming skills. Obviously, depending on the department and on the project that you are on, one or the other may matter more, but basically the idea is that we are looking for people that have a bit of knowledge from both of them. Going further, I think Mr. Marsereș has got a really interesting point on the motivation why people join the industry, and that being inspiration. I have included some of our projects that we find very interesting, and I hope you will also. One of them is the Space Rider, which is the ESA mission for a reusable European module. A lot of people in the industry are working on this project. We as Demos, we are involved in doing mission analysis and developing the guidance and navigation control algorithm for entering in a controlled manner and reaching a predefined point. So this is happening overall at the level of the Demos group. I will let the nice movie finish. This is what we want. This is what we are aiming to do. But here in Romania, we are involved in another mission, which is called the Space Rider Drop Test, which is a mission that is aiming to prepare the real mission of the Space Rider. We doing here in Bucharest mission analysis support, so we provide support for mission definition, and we are also involved in developing a real-time trajectory simulator. What does that mean? It means that we have a mock-up of the vehicle, we are using a helicopter to get it to 3 kilometers altitude, and we are dropping from there to test the guidance and navigation control algorithm of the parafoil. During this, there will be a ground mission on the team that will have to make decisions, and they will do that with the tool that my colleagues have built. You are seeing right now a demo, so basically you will see in frame 1, there is a white line. This is the nominal trajectory. This is what we are hoping to achieve. Then you are seeing a black dot that is updating. That is the real life telemetry. So our tool is being updating with real-time data from the vehicle. And then we are doing projection on where we are going to end up. As you can see, the projection is the blue shaded curve. And basically, at any point, if we see that the blue shaded curve enters in one of those red areas, which are no-fly zones, areas in which we don't need to trespass at any point because we might pose a harm to people or to land or etc., it means that the people on ground can use this tool to make real-time decisions in terminating the flight. Basically, they will cut the bridles of the parachute and then the vehicle will fall straight down. This is a very interesting project. We can't wait for the drop test mission and to actually be there on the field. Going on, another tool that has been developed by my colleagues in the frame of Revlan GNC project. We are seeing in here a simulator that is showing us the attitude of the vehicle, and we are also seeing some parameters of interest such as speed or aerodynamic angles, which again is used in support for mission definition. Going on to another topic, the reentry analysis. This is actually related to the work that I'm doing. Just to give you a bit context about what this work implies. So basically, we are seeing that the orbits, especially the strategic orbits such as LEO and GEO, are becoming crowded. So ESA is now having regulations in order to plan for your disposal. And basically, I am involved in doing the re-entry analysis. So spacecraft that are planning to re-enter the Earth atmosphere after their end of the operational life. And in order to do that, we need to assess if some part of our spacecraft is surviving, and if so, if they pose again a threat to humans or land on Earth. And based on that, we compute the surviving fragments, and then we compute some sort of statistics regarding the casualty risk that we pose. This is again very important in the mission definition. It is a task that is very close to the system engineering and very important in the early phases of the project, as you need to account for all of this during your design. Moving on to another really interesting project, another tool, Impact Effects tool, which was developed by my colleagues from the ground segment team for the Near Earth Objects Competence Center of ESA. This competence center is maintaining a database of all asteroids that might pose a threat to Earth. And my colleagues have developed this tool that should be used in case of imminent impact with an asteroid, and they are outputting these hazard maps in which we can see the effect of the impact on Earth. So basically, they are having a sort of legend in which they are saying in the purple area we are expecting mass destruction, we are expecting big craters. Then in the lighter purple area we are expecting some other types of hazard, still very dramatic but a bit lighter, such as fires, damage to infrastructure or buildings, and again casualty to humans. And as we go on, we will see that an asteroid that would potentially impact Earth is going to affect in some way or another a big part of Europe. And I think it is very important to also name the goal of this tool. So the 𝐸𝐳𝐫 plans on using this tool in case of an impact to support the national emergency units in planning the best response plan. Now, last but not least, I would also like to present our view on the relationship with the academic community and also with the scientific community. I already mentioned that we have a good collaboration with University Politehnica from Bucharest. We also have a really good communication with the Faculty of Aerospace Engineering in the form of also a signed formal agreement, but we are also in very good communication with the Faculty of Automating Control and Computer Science. Now about our view on how to transition from the academia to the companies. We see this as a multi-step approach, and we are trying to make this transition as smooth as possible for the students. Basically, we are trying to participate in as many events as possible as the one that we are doing today. I have listed a few that have taken place this year. We see these events as a first opportunity for us to meet you and for us to get to know us and to get to know what we are doing. Then we are seeing a future collaboration based on technical collaboration. We are already involved in coordination of bachelor and bachelor theses. So you can opt to have a thesis which is for which on one hand you will have a coordination from our company, and then you also have coordination for the faculty. Another interesting project is the research project and guest lectures. We have been having discussions with the Faculty of Aerospace Engineering this year to have guest lectures provided by our colleagues in order to fill in the gap and for the students to understand what they learn in university may actually be useful for them in the real world, and also to close a bit the gap between what you are learning in university and what you are using in real life projects. Moving on to that, we also have internship positions. I have listed here a few of them. This may depend from one year to another, but in the last years I think we had we have colleagues that have entered as interns in our company. I think it is worth mentioning in here that we see internships as the start of a long-term collaboration. Most of our colleagues who have joined and interns have decided to stay on and have remained in the company. This is a very good opportunity for you to be on real projects, to get to know the team, to get to understand how we are working and what we are doing. And again, it's also worth mentioning that we offer our support to the students' organization, and that we are also involved in the scientific community, and that we are presenting our research and our results at the national and international conferences taking place. And I think that would be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Anka. Thank you for your collaboration, for your words, for your infos and so on. Now let's have a question from the audience. Okay, please give the microphone to the student.
Hello. First of all, what would you recommend to a student that want to follow this domain?
Well, I would start by saying that the fact that you are here today is a very good first step. I would recommend that you take every opportunity that you have. As we mentioned, we are one of the companies that are right now thinking of a strategy of getting to you with more and more opportunities. So we are present at this type of events. We offer internships. We offer our support for bachelor and master theses. And as I've already mentioned, we are already considering having some lectures. Other than that, just be proactive. I think there were already mentioned in here today some very good points. Networking is one of them. Today is a very good opportunity for you. If you find anything that you are passionate about during the study, then you can just continue and learning on your own and get to know a bit more on the detail on the domain. I think that will also get you pretty far. And yeah, I think that would be all. My overall recommendation would be to take every opportunity that you get during your university years. There might be times where you would feel that what you are doing might not prove useful in any way, but from my own experience, everything that you do and everything that you learn will serve you one day in one way or another.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, please, Mark.
So I think I want to emphasize this. I think having companies that offer you this cooperation is very important. This is a unique opportunity. We have seen as well that, you know, unfortunately, the business world and university world are somehow a bit disconnected, and so we have to do efforts to connect them together. And this is something we are experiencing in Luxembourg as well. So we are working closely with university as well to encourage these opportunities with private companies during the curriculum. I think it's important to do it during the curriculum. It's not always so easy, but for example, we are starting, or one of the actions we are taking, and I think this is something I understand you are doing as well with these programs of speakers. We are universities regularly inviting representatives from industry to share their experience, explain what they do, how they do it, and what are the concrete applications of what you are studying. Of course, this is the first step to do, is to make the link between what you learn and what you can do in the future. And so again, having this opportunity as early as possible to have first experience with the business world, the entrepreneurial world, is something very important. And I can only support what Anka said. If you have this opportunity, take it.
Yes, regarding what you mentioned about the curriculum, I think it's also mentioning that there were some really important steps this year taken by Mr. Frunzeanu, which we offered our suggestion regarding the curriculum. So I would say that for all of you that are here today, you are in a very fortunate position that both the academia and the industry are already thinking and creating strategy on how to create this transition and make it as smooth as possible for you.
Okay, thank you very much, Anka. You want to say something? No, okay. So last but not least, we will hear the representative of Students to Space. Miss Andrea 𝐒𝐳𝐽, please, you have the floor.
Distinguished guests, esteemed professors and officials, dear colleagues, I'm honored to stand before you today as the representative of our university's rocketry team, Students to Space. My name is Andrea 𝐒𝐽. I'm the head of the Logistics and Communication department of our team. And today I want to share with you the story of how the skills and experiences that we build here in our university help us transition towards the engaging world of startups and companies. So Students to Space was born out of sheer courage and passion for space. Within the halls of our university, I found not just a wealth of knowledge, but a drive to explore the unknown. This academic foundation has been the bedrock upon which my colleagues and I have been building our skills and understanding of space. Over the past few years, we've had a few achievements that we're extremely proud to present to you today, such as our debut on the international stage of rocketry through Euroc in 2021, where we launched the first supersonic rocket developed entirely by a team of students that flew at over 8,000 meters. This achievement also solidified its status as the most potent student-developed rocket in Southeastern Europe. And if you can, please. This is a video of the launch of our rocket. Our first rocket, EVA, was also recovered, and we still use it for expositions and wherever we participate. But moreover, we had a participation this year as the biggest international rocketry competition for university students, Spaceport America, where we stand alongside 155 other international teams. And this is the launch of this year in New Mexico, if you can please.
Okay.
Winds are showing good.
Winds are good.
Charlie 2. Green on Charlie 2. Launching.
Let's do this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pressing that button. Waiting for that gyro to go. I see smoke. There they go.
Thank you. Moreover, besides being extremely interested in rocketry, we also involve ourselves in education. So as of this year, we've had over 30 teams coming into our university, building their pocket cubes in our competition, Cube to Space, that we host here during RoboFest. We've also been part of organizing last year's Space Fest along the university and our faculty. And also we have hosted over 30 students this year in a rocketry workshop alongside the Students Association of our faculty. Moreover, in this industry, we all know that we need partners, and we are extremely keen on developing those partnerships. As of now, we have partners in the industry that allow us and provide us with the necessary tools and knowledge in order to continue developing our team. For the next 3 years, we have a very interesting timeline that we plan, especially on expanding in competitions and also building our own pocket cube and satellite, as well as continuing to be involved in education and bringing high school students towards the space field. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I try to keep it as short as possible so we do not interrupt a lot of the program, but if you have any questions, I'm eager to answer you. Thank you.
So let's hear one question from the audience. Yes,
It's
okay.
good. How are you describing your road from entering to space to participating in the rocketry industry and contest, and now speaking in front of many of your colleagues today?
Well, for me, it has been a really exciting experience. I'm in my second year of studies, so I'm quite early in the industry and I'm having an early start in my career, I can say. But being part of a team is especially encouraging because you always have people that have your back and that will help you develop no matter the circumstances. And it's especially important for me as I'm in a, let's say, non-technical department. It's also important for me to continue developing my technical skills, because I think we all need to have the know-how of both in order to be able to communicate between us and to continue growing and developing whatever passion we have. So I encourage everyone to try to join associations and to try to take a step forward in realizing their scope and into reaching the career they believe they want to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. Now I have to thank you all for the first panel, and I will invite you to a short 15 minutes break for networking, and then at 20 minutes till 12 we'll be back in the room for the second panel. Thank you very much.